Hi Poopsies, it's me, Tony Bomboni, ASMR. Welcome back. So, before I begin speaking some real talk, spilling some tea. It's been a while since we did one of these videos where we just keep it real. I think it's important to have that now and again, just to be authentic with ourselves. But if you are new here, I would really love if you could just take a quick second, move that mouse, tap that subscribe button, the subscribe play button, and hit all notifications on the notification bell, because I do upload every day. These videos take a lot of my time from my life, so it's just one way to show support for this channel if you prefer, and it helps others find this YouTube channel as well if you would like to do that. Okay, and check my website if you would like as well, tonybomboni.com. Just a gentle suggestion, because I do offer more content on there than you can see on here. I have so much more on there. Just go check out my entire website. Need not say anymore. Alright guys, so I'm gonna clear up this dry throat. It's the dry air from the winter, you know. I get this type of way during this season time, and pulled out the holiday cup since we're approaching holidays. It's been a while, right? Last time I brought this out, I was celebrating with you guys, I think, about me living on my own again, and now I'm not again. But that's okay. I don't mind living with my brother. I've lived with him most of my life, so nothing new, right? Like, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. If it did, I wouldn't, live with someone that bothers me, obviously. So, why would you do that? What doesn't make you happy, right? So, but I'm clarifying that because, yeah, I don't live alone anymore. At least for the time being. I may in the future again. I'm open to the idea. It wouldn't really bother me. But for me personally, it wasn't, I can't say it wasn't healthy, but again, this video, by the way, is going to be real talk about multiple subjects, not just one. So don't expect me to talk about any one specific thing or any specific thing in general. This is just a real talk kind of video with us sipping on sparkling ice. So that's why I'm just sharing with you some random stuff, some updates. And so, yeah, you can chill, lay back with me and just, drink something yourself. But yeah, I handled the last year of living alone better than I did when I lived alone for 2 years. That was a nightmare. But at least I had friends and support back then. And could you imagine if I didn't? This time I pretty much had no one. I was on my own and no one close, no one to call every day, So the fact that I managed that well speaks volumes, that I did do the work. I came far. I improved in many ways. Still have a long ways to go. This morning, I was actually really upset because of something, just upset at myself. Because there's still so much. When you peel back those layers, it's you still realize there's so much garbage you haven't worked on. And I'm still kind of upset about it, but I'm trying not to raise my blood pressure too much. Let's get to the drinking because my throat, okay. This is sparkling ice, cherry limeade flavored sparkling water with 0 sugar, vitamins, antioxidants. I just despise when I have to clear my throat while I'm speaking, so. That was the most dramatic. It sounds like those things in Harry Potter that you pull out of the soil and they scream. Okay. It just lets out a long, drawn-out poopsy fart. Okay. So, you can't really hear much sizzle, fizzle, but I prefer you can hear it. You can't hear much in this. And I like when you can hear your sparkle. It makes it more satisfying to drink. Wow. I know it says 0 sugar, but that is sugary. Oh. All right, now, child. That hit strong. Okay. But like I was saying, I've come far and I've done the work. But there's still a ways to go. And I'm like, dang, God, like how much more do I have to go, you know? No, he says that a long way. See, because you realize that when you do the work. By the way, do you like this? I got a new angel statue. This is like pure marble. It's so heavy. It was quite costly because it's like not that big. I thought it would be bigger, but I love it. She's just like this came separately. I just put grapes in it. I was like, oh, she needed to carry something, like, you know. And then I got this. I might as well tap on it. Sometimes I buy things to make me feel better. I know that's not necessarily the best thing to do. But this was the day after I kind of had a fallout with someone, so I was like, yeah. Temporary thrills, right? But I figured I had the golden color Egyptian statue, then I had the golden color tiger statue, so I'm like, I need the golden color parrot. Like, you just can't have enough decor in the home. And you kind of need to match. But there's the Poopsie. Hi, Poopsies. Thank you for subscribing. Now, Tony, it's time to tell them. Okay, I will. So, I said I was going to show y'all. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lift it because it's heavy, but above this book, the Louis Vuitton book, I have the Dali Museum collection. I went to the Dali Museum. It was all right. But it's amazing when you look at the artwork. It's like, wow, you kind of already know what it's about before you even read the description. And it's like, wow, you know. That's why I like going to a museum. I just like connecting the pieces. Like, well, this makes sense to me in this way. And then you read it and it's like, oh, that was actually about what you were thinking of. That it was. And this is a big chunky fluorite crystal. Look how amazing that is. I felt connected and drawn to it immediately, and I was like, yep. I already meditated with this like 4 times, and I'm telling you, I love it. And it's shaped like La Palma, isn't it? The island with the volcano. La Cumbre Vieja. La Cumbre Vieja. Okay, so I just feel really good with this, so I'm gonna put it here. Okay, but anyway, okay. Enough of that. I hope I didn't get fluoride powder in my drink. Oh well. So, I guess I'm just uncomfortable with some of these subjects, but yeah, I want it to be chill and laid back. I don't want to really feel like the tension of like, you know, having to talk about something that I don't want to talk about. Well, I do want to talk about, but I don't at the same time. I don't know what I'm saying. But, I guess my first rant as part of this useless, pointless video is why is it that people say in general, I'm not talking about anyone specific, okay? Feel the need to say that trust is important, but then they break your trust. Fascinating, right? Fascinating. You just think about that for a second. Have you thought about it? Did it give you enough time? Okay, good. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. Why is it that people say that you need to communicate and that trust is important, and then they break your trust by not promising on what they originally, by not following through on their original promise? It's like, okay, they tell you that trust is important, time will build trust, but then they don't tell you that they're married. Yeah, I said it. I've had that happen, and I've had it happen again. It's like, okay, I've been using this stupid app, right? I guess I felt in a vulnerable, weak point at one point. This was like a few months ago. And, you talk to someone, and then it's like, okay, you talk literally on the phone for hours. And they're going through it, right? They had a loss, right? Again, no one specific. I can't say who because they're... I ain't even gonna say, okay? All I know is they work with some celebrity. I ain't gonna say it, okay? And you didn't hear this from me, allegedly. But it's like they want a bond and then they don't even tell you they're married. It's like, first of all, I ain't gonna do that. I never, ever was with someone who was married. Ever. And I never will. Real talk, okay? This video is real talk. If you can't handle the tea, get out the kitchen, honey. Because real talk. The guilt I would feel for doing that, no, it's not worth it. You can actually get sued from someone like that. Like, no. Like, you can't get involved that way with anyone. It's just one of those morals, those boundaries I said. Like, no, if you are married, please do not. Like, no. Right? Like, that's just not something I play around with. Some people do. Okay, whatever, but I don't agree with it. No, just, that's not for me, personally. So they're talking to you, and they're building your trust, and they want something with you, and it's like, oh, yeah, then days later, you say you're married, like, and then you tell me that you don't have to tell me. You didn't have to tell me. Like, really? Really? Wow. So I was like, bye. Like, I just ended it there. I was like, no. That's the risk, I guess, you get with talking to people on these stupid apps and websites. Like, they just never work, in my opinion. They're just for fun and just, like, I'm not even into that for fun anymore. I never was, actually. It's just such a waste of time, and it's like, whatever satisfaction you get out of meeting someone on those things is so temporary and fading, and lately I've just been coming to terms with what is real, like what is authentic in life, right? Not the things that are temporary thrills, like shopping or something, yeah, human being here, forgive me for messing up and slipping up sometimes, or wanting a good time, but it's like, no, that's not everything. And it frustrates me because I've spoken with, like, many people who would, for most people, be deemed very, very successful. But sometimes it hurts my heart that that's all they talk about. All they talk about is money or what they've acquired, and it makes me really sad. It's like I hear even about like, oh, I just bought my like 10th Rolex watch, and it's just like, it makes me feel really sick, honestly, because yeah, good for you for getting there in life. There's nothing wrong with that in itself. All the more better, but like, it never brings you peace. And it's like, it makes you wonder, like, if someone always talks about that, always day in and day out, is that really their insecurity and their flaw? Hey, I said I was going to keep it real right now. Right? If you think about it. And maybe I'm just making myself feel better because I had a hard morning, because I realized I was actually... We all face our struggles and addictions, that I didn't realize I was actually like having a problem with myself. With that, I won't share in here what, but that I need to overcome my addiction to something. And it's like, wow. And sometimes we can be addicted to people too. That could be another thing. It's like, always feeling like you have to reach out to someone instead of talking to God about it, right? So I came to terms with like why so many friendships and relationships were ruined because of this problem. And it really hit me this morning. I had a general sense, an idea of what, but it really hit me this morning. I was like, wow, doing that really caused me to have this reaction to people and treat them differently. Like they say, treat how you want to be treated. I honestly have a hard time grasping that. I always have a hard time grasping that concept. I always have a hard time feeling guilt for something I did. I just don't, like the normal person does. And that's okay, Yeah, I've taken those psychological exams and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm not average, okay? I'm not, like, in here, I don't feel as others do. And that's okay, Like, I have to come to accept that. Like, God gave me this for a reason, I have to just work through it. At least I'm aware of it, and that, like, the effects of how you could affect people emotionally, why you can't keep friendships, right? Why you can't, because you just don't feel the same way. And it's not that I'm not empathic, it's just like, it's a mix of two forces, right? I can be, but I also, there's that disconnect that I've always struggled with. And most of the work came to realizing that this was just who I am and I should accept it, right? And it was a struggle for me too for so long. It still sometimes is. I still fade in and out of like, is this normal? Or should I really feel this way? Like, why can't I relate to most people? And it hurts. It really does. And having that fallout with a person recently, it was like, I had to cut them off, because it was too toxic for my life. I was probably toxic to them too, and I don't want that for them. I want them to keep their distance from me, because sometimes you just don't resonate or vibrate on the same frequency as a person. You don't have the same, sometimes, experience in life, socioeconomic status, you just can't relate. And I never thought I would have to actually say that. I mean, that sounds like I never used to care about those things, but like when a friend tells you like that they wish they had the car you did and they wish they had the house it just makes you feel so sad. And it's like, yeah, you really can't relate at the end of the day. It's like you can't relate to their problem of like, they have to go work full time and, they're still struggling to survive. They're still struggling to get their own place. And there were so many conflicts and issues that came up that I realized, like, yeah, and the fact that they kept bringing it up that like, we're not best friends because of that, we just don't relate. And it made me really sad and alone. Yeah. Really, really alone. And I can't imagine how the person must feel who has like 10 Rolex watches. Oh my God. I read book after book after book, and they all say the same thing. It's like, there's no excuse but to strive ahead and be better and do better. But what's the point when you're alone? It's like, when there's a lack of people, it's so hard the further you get in life, like the harder it is to find people to connect with. And I've noticed that on my journey so far, and I still have a long way to go, no doubt. But sometimes you want to stop the journey and just rest and say, you know what, what's the point? But you know, if you stop and rest, you'll never meet anyone. So it really hurts. It really hurts. Even being a YouTuber, honestly, it's so hard for me to connect with people because, like, most people are not YouTubers, right? And even the YouTuber friends I have, they're always like in their own world and doing their own thing, and it's like, you don't want to bother them. They don't want to be bothered. Or I did something stupid to sabotage the friendship because I wasn't as healed at the time. I didn't expect it to be this hard. Had I known how it would have been like, I may have chosen a different path, but I don't regret what I am doing now because I know how many people it impacts. I'm just going to take a deep breath because I want to slow down before I raise my blood pressure. I never even thought I'd have to say that, but yeah, I'm getting to that age and that point where I'm like, yeah, like this, people have raised my blood pressure at the time, and yeah, they have. It's just how it is, whatever. I can't change what I can't change. We all age, we all get older. This is uncomfortable because it's probably the realest video I've made in a while, but I always like to do what makes me uncomfortable. It would be much easier for me to make friends if I had coworkers. Let's put it that way, and I'll end it there. I'm talking to a camera, which is not just a camera, it's you. I know who you are. But it's not the same. Human beings want good connections, and it sucks it didn't work with this person because, you know, we had a thing before and it didn't work then, and something in me thought, oh yeah, I'll reach out, it's gonna work this time. It never did. And it made me realize how alone we are, really, in this universe. If it weren't for family, I'd really be alone, like totally. But it's funny because I'm not craving that interaction anymore after just having been fed up with so many different situations. Like, I don't even want to talk to anyone like that. I still do, but like, I think pain is a teacher, and you don't crave the same things. You don't have the same desires. But it's all about battling the flesh. Like, what am I addicted to? Am I addicted to my phone? Maybe that's affecting things, right? Am I addicted to how I come across with people? Am I addicted to maybe even seeking too much external information when it's inside of you, right? Am I taking enough time to meditate, to be spiritual? It's a balance, and I think that's so important in our lives. And you'll have days where you're on a roll, and then days like sort of like now where it's like, oh my God, what am I even doing, right? Like, or not so much what am I even doing, it's more like, Yeah, I guess I can say that. Because it's sort of a wake-up call. Like, things will never change unless you change. And it's like, what am I doing that's not allowing that change to happen for me to connect and meet that person that I've been seeking for, but maybe that person is me. Like maybe I'm just missing myself because I haven't connected enough with who I really am. And I think that's a part of the 20s, being in your 20s, you know? Do you ever experience that? Like, I know it feels like I'm talking with a friend now, but do you ever experience like, yeah, I don't think I need to say anymore. I think you understand what I'm saying. Alleged person was really depressed, really going through things, having their own struggles with addictions, and it's like you want to be there to help someone, but you can't because you know you're not on the same page anymore as you used to. You listen to different music, you do different things, you know, you're just not the same. And it sucks when you're at one point friends with someone that you can't anymore. It's like, and they were the last good one, you know what I'm saying? Like a solid, good, deep down inside person, right? Like when you look past the ego and the layers of flaws that you think are flaws, but maybe they don't think are flaws or realize are flaws. This is valid for any friendship, really. Not just one person. It's just then you realize you have all of that yourself, your ego, your flaws, and it's like maybe yours came across too much to them. Because, you know, it's not the same me talking on camera and then me being friends with you in real life. It's like, you know, that's your true, authentic self coming through. And it's like, wow, if my true, authentic self was that good, I'd have plenty of friends right now, if you think about it. Which sucks to kind of hear about yourself, but I don't know. Sometimes you just have to come to the end of yourself. I think that's the issue, you know. Oh, that was loud. Sometimes you have to come to the end of yourself, sir, water. That's why my faith has been so important. I never used to believe in Jesus. Now I do. God in Christ Jesus. And my connection with him has been so important, as I'm sure with many of you. Life-changing. I think that's the only reminder that, like, yes, we don't have much time. It's like, you know, this won't last forever. You know, your struggles can be all met through him. And it just feels great knowing that and building your faith. But you have some moments and days where you're just like disconnected and you just are so in a self-doubting pity party where your self-esteem is so low and you have no confidence at all. I've been there, so low and so lack of confidence. I don't even want to step out of the house, even in like a rag. Like, I don't want to dress nice. I don't even want to dress for anything. Like, that kind of feeling, so low. That's not how I'm feeling now, obviously, but it's like, otherwise I wouldn't even put the shirt on or do this video, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have those moments, but I think I have less of those moments with God in my life now, and I love when people talk about Jesus, and okay, I closed my eyes too long and I didn't realize the camera was off, so I am going to continue. I was saying how God's important in your life as a summary. I'm not alone, but I feel alone, and if God brings me someone great, if not, that's okay, that's part of my journey. I just have to trust in him, and solely him, come to the end of myself in a way, and that might help you if you're listening at home. You just feel like this can help guide you. I'm not ever going to push my faith on someone, but that my faith has helped me through so many issues that I couldn't have resolved without faith. Do you see what I'm saying? And we're never alone with him. So I love when people talk about Jesus, and I just feel like hearing such faith-building messages is so inspiring to me and so comforting. And it's like sometimes that's the only thing you have. And I know I'm not the only one. So many people are alone right now. Whatever's going on in the world has ruined so many friendships, relationships, connections. People come to me literally every day with readings, like this person has cut ties, or this person won't talk to me, or this person. I know it's happening, and it helps me connect with people and not be alone and not feel alone, to do that. And that's why I did that, one-on-one, to connect with people in a way. Even though it's still virtual, it's still it's still connecting more, and it feels rewarding, fulfilling, satisfying. But yeah, when you're doing a profession that's not common, of course you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like there's not many people. And then I'm even listening to YouTubers who are like 10, 100, max 1,000 subscribers, and they're telling the camera to their viewers that they feel alone too, and they work regular jobs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's a common feeling, it's not something that is just based on one experience, right? It's not human if you never feel alone, right? Like, eventually you're gonna feel alone in any point of your life. Even if you're not married to someone, you could feel alone. That's common. And that's why that married guy kind of reached out and contacted me. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't do that if he was not feeling that way. So I would say focus on your values. Don't get distracted by people doing that to you, or, any experience. And it didn't bother me, surprisingly, as much. And that's what bothered me, is like, wow, that it didn't bother me that I just cut this person from my life, because it's like, that's how I knew they weren't a friend all along, right? It's like, if it doesn't bother you to do that, you're not tempted to reach back out. It's like, oh, then this really wasn't meant to be. But my peace is so important. Within the past 2 years, I've just been cutting out everything that doesn't give me peace, and it made things so much better. But yeah, nothing's perfect, right? That's the real talk. Don't expect perfection. Don't expect things to be always your way, or you to be always right. Because, I brought up a lot in this person. They brought up a lot in me that I have to realize and do and adjust and correct along my journey. But it also made me realize how far I've come, that I'm no longer on the same page as someone I was 4 years ago. And it's like, wow, and it even bothered them, like, oh, I wish you were still living in this small place, or I wish you were still like this or like that. And now I feel so far removed from it, but at the same time, I know I'll attract the right people and friendships who are on the same page in life, kind of like an equal education, understanding, and it's like, I always feel like my poopsies are my friends, because we're all kind of like one and the same in a way. You wouldn't connect with me here if we weren't, but I can't be friends with everyone, and I can't be friends with someone who lives in, Australia. That's just how would that work, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it was hard, and this person was also a viewer, and they met me through YouTube. How else? I mean, I didn't, most of the people I met were they knew me from YouTube, like, how else? I mean, I don't work a job, you know what I'm saying? So, but it made me feel in a position like that I couldn't connect well, because they don't understand what I do. Even if they do what I do, even if they have a YouTube channel, they really don't understand the journey it took, and just how I feel as a person in general and why I have this certain career, right? There's a reason, because my personality is a certain way. You have to have a certain personality to do this full time. Like, you just can't function as a normal human being if you don't there's not like a certain part of your brain that I don't want to say shuts off, but like, it takes a certain type of person to do this. And that's why people fail. People don't want to do this long term. I've seen YouTubers with millions of subscribers and they're like, I quit. Like, they can't do it. I've even spoken to them. They're like, yeah, it's just not for me. I went back to school. I went back to a traditional job. Good for you. Do what makes you happy, you know? And I'm not saying this does not make me happy. I'm just saying the sacrifice I had to make to commit to this. And that's of no fault but my own. Because I knew I had to know what I was getting myself into. You can't have the cake and eat it too. Okay? Like, God can't give you something and then be like, here's more. He could. But be careful with that, okay? Overindulgence. Oh, girl, I done spilled this all over myself. Speaking of overindulgence. Oh, well, I guess I gotta put all this in the laundry now. Anyway, poopsies, I'm getting to the end of my points here, my talking points. There's really no point, it's just real talk, like I said, but I just want to have a real chit chat with you. Maybe you feel the same way. I can't wait to read the comments. I've been replying to every single one. You guys are amazing. You guys are great. I feel so fulfilled in many ways. I've been doing a lot of things outside of YouTube lately, and that's mostly so I don't feel this way for too long. Maybe it's just concealing how I actually feel, but I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tap into your feelings in general. But I've been doing a lot of work outside of YouTube. Not like physical work, like a job, but like work. Just working on stuff, and I can't even share it. I won't go into details. Little things here and there. That's all I'll say. But they're kind of, I would say, changes, but not like to where it's gonna like really affect that much in my life or change much of anything. But hey, I know this is real talk. I'm supposed to be real, but okay, let's keep some things private. This year has just been one huge, I don't want to say disappointment, but I don't know what it was. I really don't know, to tell you the honest truth. I don't even know what just happened. I quite frankly don't even remember what happened. Cheers to that. It's been a pretty inactive year. It went too quickly, but not much has happened. I've gotten a lot busier. That was a blessing for me. I like to stay busy. But I haven't built or connected with any friends more. Either things ended or things died down. It didn't really stay the same or improve. So I'm wondering, like, maybe I'm not valuing my time with friends. Maybe they're not as important to me on my path. And it's like, I was spending a lot of time with this person. It's like, you can't really have time for the things you really want to do if you're always with your friends. It's just how it is. And it sucks, but we're not like kids anymore, right? It's like, our time is so limited. The fact that this year went by so quick, I even forgot it was almost 2022. It means something, right? It's like, wow, maybe I should really value and cherish my time more on other things, priorities that matter more. Because our time is so short. Why would I waste it away drinking and smoking, and being with a person that is not good for me? And it all just comes down to differences and changes. Knowing what's best for you, knowing who you are and what you want out of life, and to know the difference. And if someone doesn't match your energy, bye. That's it. Sometimes that's all you need to do. It's like, goodbye. There's too many people on this planet to worry about one. The only one we should worry is ourselves. It's not selfish to worry about yourself. You're not full of yourself by worrying about yourself, because you're all you have. Who gonna help you if you're in a hospital bed? I know no one would come to mind besides family. I'm just saying. Year after year, I sent Christmas cards, and not one was sent my way. I'm just saying. My poopsies sent more than people that were in my circle. Never once, no, I'm not ashamed to say, never once someone sent me something. Maybe once when I was like 10 years old, that's about it. But I'm not going to be sad about it. No. There's a reason for that too. No one ever bought me flowers. That's okay. I'm not going to mope about it. I'm not going to be bitter about it and petty. But it's weird how sometimes we love strangers more than people in our lives. Like, I've gotten so much love and support and gifts, and when I was doing the P.O. Box thing, and honor and praise and all the things I appreciate it, but it's not necessary. I'm not a king. I'm not a god. No one on this planet is. And it's weird how we love people more, even like in distant like relationships. Like, I've had more connection with long-term relationships which is weird. It's like, why do we love someone online more? We love the illusion of them. We love the person they appear to be as. But do you really know who I am? Right? It's a magnificent thing. It's really a magnificent thing. And I think this is the era of breaking apart illusions and destroying them, obliterating them to little pieces, and throwing them in the trash and burning the trash, and burning the trash of the trash. My point is, we're not in the same day and age, and I think we're evolving as a species to that, being less social. You notice that? You never noticed that? Are you sure you didn't notice that, or you weren't paying attention to the signs? I'm just saying. Don't be mad at me. Don't kill the messenger. Everything's so virtual and fake. Instagrammable. Ugh. That's why I don't even post it. Like, I haven't even posted Instagram in like 2 months. I'm like, I'm so over this, right? Like, thank God I don't depend on that for money, because so fake to me. I don't know. I never understood it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Oh yeah, and then there was some other YouTuber, like, I just had to unsubscribe because I'm like, this girl was talking smack about me. She was like, me and my husband don't even like you. I'm like, okay, I don't know either. Like, it's like commenting on their live stream, showing support, and it's like, okay, some people just have hatred in their heart, and it's really sad. And like, you can have all that money, honey, it ain't gonna fix your broken heart or your insecurities, because it's just really sad. Like, and yeah, I've been hurt a lot, I speak from pain. I wouldn't be speaking this way if I didn't speak or come from a place of pain. Disappointments, expecting things to work out when they didn't, having to learn to let go of expectations, setting healthy boundaries. And time again, just treating others a certain way because I didn't. I'm just not there in my life now. It's like I don't even want a friend like I thought I did. I don't even want that right now. Like an actual friend in person, physically. It's like so many people are okay with that. And I am too, but maybe I'm labeling it as something that I see other people have that I don't, and it bothers me that I don't have that because they do. You ever feel that? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. I think I said enough in this real talk. That's kind of what I've been through lately. Just dealing with a lot of people with a lot of insecurities. And then it's like, okay, why am I attracting these people with these things? Maybe there's something in me that is left unsaid, unspoken. Maybe I was there just to help them through that time. Maybe the devil's playing tricks on me. I don't know. I really don't have all the answers. I wish I did, but through the confusion and chaos, there is clarity on the other side, and we have to go through what we have to go through eventually. There's no avoiding it. I heard this recently, like you hear the train whistle, you know the train's coming, but you're not sure when. But it's important to take time away from all of that and realize who you are as a person. And that's what is the page, the level I'm on right now, where I realize that. And that in a few months' time, we won't be having the same conversation because I will have thankfully evolved from that. When things make sense, the puzzle pieces are put together, and there's more clarity. That's all I need to say. Life is the best education, isn't it? But except the teachers are 100 times more annoying. Anyway, poopsies, thank you so much for watching and sitting and just talking it out with you. What do you think, I guess? What's your opinion on all of this? Let's be loving in the comments, not in a place of judgment.